According to Matthew Lynn, the United Kingdom is heading towards an inevitable financial collapse, and no one is going to stop it. The government has raised taxes, spent billions on immigrants, loaned millions to Ukraine, increased public sector wages, completely lost control of the budget, and public debt has skyrocketed. Businesses are closing down, unemployment is rising, and the economy has stagnated. With extremely high taxes and absurdly expensive energy, investing here has become a terrible deal. And the worst part, even with the promised cuts, there simply isn't enough money to sustain the current system. We are on the brink of a historic crisis, and it's only a matter of time. And it's not just Matthew Lynn sounding the alarm. You, me, all of us are already feeling it firsthand. The situation is serious, and unfortunately, if you think things are bad now, just know it's going to get even worse. And what happens after that? What will daily life look like once the crash really hits? I'll tell you now, it's worse than most people imagine. But stay until the end, because I'll be giving a suggestion that might help you and someone else too. So, if you're not yet subscribed, make sure you do. Hit that subscribe button, share this video with that friend who needs a wake-up call, and pay close attention to what's coming next. Well, to be honest with you, I was reading through it and thinking, yeah, he's probably right. We are utterly screwed. Absolutely. And honestly, I can't see where he's wrong. Rachel Reeves, of course, took over and immediately started promising they'd get the economy under control, stop the excessive borrowing, plug that £20 billion black hole, and then what? They hiked taxes by £40 billion, pledged a chunk of cash to Ukraine and various other absurdities, and, as he points out, she's completely lost control of public spending. According to the Office for National Statistics, we borrowed £15 billion more than forecast for the next financial year, and in total, we borrowed £151.9 billion last year. Mate, we simply can't afford this. That's £20 billion more than the year before, and £15 billion over what was expected. Just last month alone, we racked up another £16 billion, the third highest figure for March since records began, even during COVID times. That's mad. And of course, it's not going to get better, because we're so locked into this spending addiction that there's no way out. To fix it, we'd have to slash welfare spending, drastically cut what we give to the NHS, slash spending everywhere, or ramp up taxes even further. That's what Reeves and Starmer have tried to do. Taxes have gone up, I'm paying more, my kid's school is paying more, businesses are paying through the nose, and it's still not enough. As he says, it's no wonder it's all going downhill. Those massive public sector pay rises greenlit by the government have massively increased costs. It's yet another huge burden we're all being made to carry. Billions added to the public sector wage bill. It's mental. And half these government departments probably shouldn't even exist. You've got Ed Miliband's loony green energy empire spending money hand over fist. Quick detour, that's another thing. None of this is going to improve while Labour is in charge. Just look at British energy prices. We're paying the highest average price per kilowatt hour. Hungary? Dirt cheap. France? Also cheap. Why? France uses nuclear, Germany buys energy from elsewhere, and we're just stuffed. Then you've got Ed Miliband clearly clueless when it comes to basic economics. Watch this.
In this country are taxed at 78% on energy profits. That pushes up prices too.
No, that's wrong. Look,
it's not 78%?
It is 78%, but it's not incredible.
Whereas obviously regular corporate tax is 25%.
It's really important to make this point. Oil and gas is set, the price of oil and gas is set on the international market. The reason why...
That's the raw commodity price, in the same way that the prices of batteries is set on the raw, the raw commodity price.
It's not set by the tax rate on UK companies, is what I'm saying. It's set by the global price. You see,
I understand that, but you're saying that tax rates don't impact pricing?
I'm saying that in relation to oil and gas, they don't, because the truth is that the price for our oil and gas is set internationally. And let me explain. Let me just, if you just let me make the point. Why did prices go through the roof when Russia invaded Ukraine? Right, well, our prices went through the roof, even though we imported a very small amount from Russia. That's because whether the gas was coming from the North Sea or internationally, it was priced on the international market. That's why we're in the grip of fossil fuel markets controlled by others, petrostates, and that wasn't about the UK tax rate. The UK tax rate could have been cut or higher, and it wouldn't have made an impact.
That's a separate point.
Yeah.
the floating price of commodities is a legitimate but separate point. Another point for why this country has unbelievably high energy prices is that we tax our energy companies.
No, you're wrong. I'm really sorry, but you're wrong about that because the price is set internationally. I'm really sorry, but that's not correct.
OK, well, let's put commodities aside. If you increase taxes on supermarkets to 78%...
It depends whether it's...
If you increase taxes on supermarkets to 78%, what would happen to the price of food?
It depends.
What would happen to the price of food?
It depends whether it's a domestic market where the price is set domestically.
Depend. This is a globally unquestionable factor about economics. You're right that your point also applies. You can't flatly deny my point.
I am denying your point when it comes to the question of these internationally set prices. That's the point I'm making.
If you lowered the tax of 78% on energy companies to the regular...
On oil and gas companies, it wouldn't make a difference to the price. In fact...
Yes, it would.
I'm afraid it wouldn't because the point is that the price is set internationally.
But there are lots of things that factor into the price that we pay. The lots of supply chain costs you've mentioned yourself. This is a huge cost in the supply chain.
I'm no economist, but even I know he's talking rubbish. Anyway, energy prices here are a joke. Complete madness. So why would any sane entrepreneur start a business in Britain right now? Corporation tax here is 25%. Ireland, our next-door neighbor, 12.5%. Our energy prices are through the roof. And the government will tax you into the ground. Like he says, the economy's stagnant, corporate tax receipts are falling, and businesses can barely turn a profit. Why invest here? You'd have to be mad. We're now at the point where you just can't make decent money in Britain anymore. So why would anyone set up shop here? It's not worth it. Even if you do turn a profit, the government will grab a quarter of it straight off the top if you're lucky enough to make a profit at all. It's economic insanity. And, of course, the Laffer curve is kicking in. It's a well-known concept. If you keep raising taxes past a certain point, the government actually collects less money because people and businesses either move away, dodge taxes, or simply stop bothering. It's happening right now. Manufacturing is being outsourced. Operations moved overseas. Fewer people spending. Revenues drop. Innovation drops. Growth grinds to a halt. Families are cutting spending. Businesses are folding. The economy is stagnant, if not already in recession. And worse still, these are just the early figures. The real numbers, when they finally land, will probably be even more disastrous. Debt is going to keep ballooning through the summer. That massive hike in national insurance is going to hammer both public and private sectors. It'll add hundreds of millions in costs for employing 6.1 million government workers. Why the hell do we even have 6.1 million public sector employees? The British Empire ran India with about 20,000 administrators. Now we've got 6 million bureaucrats running Britain into the ground. It's beyond insane. Most of these people should be made redundant tomorrow. We should have maybe 500,000 tops. Meanwhile, businesses are closing everywhere. Morrison's has shut down 52 cafes and 17 convenience shops. Sainsbury's pulled out of my local shopping center not because of COVID, but because it wasn't profitable anymore. That's going to hit VAT and tax revenues hard. And it can't go on. The ONS has said the UK borrowed 5.3% of GDP last year, and that was supposedly in good times. It's probably already closer to 6% and climbing. Reeves has announced welfare cuts, but let's be honest, they're mostly fake. The savings won't materialize. She's totally boxed in by all the commitments made on welfare and social spending. We're heading for a crash, a full-blown train wreck, and something's gotta give. She's ruled out tax rises this autumn, but she won't have a choice. If she wants to keep the system going, taxes will have to go up, and people will be livid. I know I will. And still, here we are. Labour government, hands tied, clinging to spending promises they can't afford and letting ministers blow money like budgets don't exist. The plain truth is, they've lost all control and a financial collapse is now unavoidable. I reckon he's right. Honestly, what's there to argue with? It's obvious. We're absolutely, utterly screwed. Maybe it's better if it all just collapses quickly so we can get on with it. Looks like we're in for a decade of depression, mate. Maybe longer. God help us.